Musical Theater Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Begin by painting your thumbnail white, your pointer nail red, your middle and pinky with a white French tip, and your ring nail with black. And my black is a glittery black, it's not just solid. So on your thumbnail with black paint and a really thin brush, you want to make these nice thin lines, I'm going to be painting the comedy and tragedy masks. I can't speak. Anyways, so I'm going to start by just painting a slightly curved line for the top of each mask, and then curving those down in sort of a large U shape, and then I'm going to start sketching in all of the details. And so I'm going to keep the actual facial features fairly simple and then add some of that detail with a light gray paint with shading. So with just the black, I'm going to be doing mouths, eyes, and eyebrows. And then also a forehead wrinkle and a little chin dimple. And oh, I forgot, and a nose. Don't forget the nose. So I'm going to pretty much do that for both sides, and you're just going to want to make sure that you alter the features so that one is happy and one is sad. And so for the eyes on the drama, you want them sort of tipped downwards and out, and on the comedy, you want them to be happy little loop shapes. And the smiles, obviously, one is a smile and one is a frown. So then I'm also just going to add strings coming off the masks for where you would tie them on. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to start shading them with light gray. So you're going to want to shade half the mask, pretty much just fill it in with light gray. And as you're doing this, you're going to want to pay attention to the natural planes of a face, and so you're shading it to look like it was dimensional. Yeah, anyways. And so as you're doing this, just pay attention and imagine a light source and where it would hit. So if something is jutting up higher, it's going to get hit, and if it's lower and behind, it's going to be darker where you want to be gray. So then on your ring nail, I'm going to begin by painting the curtains, and so I'm doing this with white because painting red on top of black isn't going to show up very well, but if you paint white and then red on top of the white, it's going to show up and be very nice and vibrant for you. So start with the white, and it doesn't have to be completely opaque. You can leave it, you know, a little streaky. It's not going to be the end of the world. So I'm going to paint the top of the curtains at the top of my nail, and then the sides of the curtains on either side. So it's kind of like an outline. So then, as I mentioned, we're going to be going over this with a layer of red. So now with a darker shade of red, a burgundy or a cranberry type color, we're going to be doing the folds in the curtains. So it's basically like just following the loops that you painted at the top, and then just a few lines on the side by the curtains that are pulled away from the middle. And then I'm going to be deepening those with just a little bit of black. And every step you go further with the shading and the shadowing and the highlighting, it's just going to be one step further and one step more advanced your nail art is. So you wouldn't have to do as many different layers as I did if you wanted, or you could do more if you wanted to take it a step further. So then add the gold tassels holding the curtain back. So then on your pointed nail, we're going to be painting the shape of a ticket with gold across the center. So start with sort of a rectangle, but imagine that the corners of the rectangles have a little bite cut out of them. So just leave those and then loop them together. So it's not really a rectangle, but it's close to a rectangle. A rectangle that some moth started eating or something. Now outline your ticket. And then in the center, you're going to want to write admit 1. So in the top, you're going to want to start with the M in the middle, and then paint an I and a T to one side, and an A and a D to the other side. Beneath that, we're going to start with the N. So you want to start with the middle letter when you're painting a word, and start with the middle letter in the middle of the space. That way you know it's going to be centered and it's all got the same amount of space and it's perfect. So then I'm going to be outlining the smile lines of my French tips. So that's going to be your middle and pinky. So I'm going to start with just a black outline, And then I'm going to add up to 5 lines beneath it. Or, well, up to 4 lines beneath it, including the top one. It would be 5 total. Yep, there we go. So just start, and I'm going to add polka dots down the center of my nail just to space them evenly so that you don't have some lines that are really close together, some that are really spread apart, just so they're nice and even. And then connect them off to the sides. Now, if you need to touch up your lines or to thin them out, you can do this with white. You want to try and make sure that they're really super thin. It's going to make them look a lot more elegant that way if they're nice and thin. And so I would suggest thinning them out with white. It's really hard to get them that super thin right off the bat. And you can't expect yourself to because it's just too difficult. So then we're going to be painting a treble clef and then some music notes. So I'm going to start with the treble clef off to the side of my nail. And then add a few music notes, whichever ones you like. And of course, add a layer of top coat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like my design. Please share any recreations with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I would really love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!